Welcome to Toffee TV. It's the debate, and we are completing Everton's greatest 11. In our opinion. In our opinion only. And we are on to the centre forwards, and yeah, this is not going to be easy. The list is extensive. If there's a reason why Everton love the number 9, it's because we've had a lot of very good ones. Simple as that. Yeah. And there's a lot that we haven't even got down that are some people's favourites, and yet they're not even on our list as honourable mentions, but we probably will mention them.
Yeah. Obviously.
Let's start with number 1, the number 9 in this team, because he is the number 9. William Ralph Dean, the original number 9, the world's first number 9, 1933 Cup final against Manchester City. Everton won 1-11. What the fate? I mean, you think about that though.
The fate, yeah.
The fate of that. The fate of
Everton could have loved their number 17s or their number 14s, couldn't he?
Well, it's we wore 1-11. They wore 12 to whatever that
22, mate.
22.
How many players on the pitch?
11, 12 to
22. 22 players on the pitch. All bearing a number on the sheet.
I'm testing you.
Yeah. Well, you think you're testing yourself, you're not testing me. Yeah, it is. When you think back, it shows the significance of it and what was born out of that, and the type of centre forward that he was. That was like the number 9 became that.
Synonymous.
And it's still there's so many, when people talk now about, oh, he's a number 9, it's the big archetypal centre fireworks. That Dixie was, obviously. That we love. But that a lot of people love, don't they? You know, let's be honest.
383 goals in 433 games, I think that is. Altogether. If you go on Wikipedia, which some of ours are based on, they're just league goals. But for the main man, we've got it signed when he was 18 in 1925, played till 1937, when basically he was destroyed.
Yeah.
Body wise, I mean, he'd gone through a bike crash.
Accident, yeah. He didn't know whether he'd play again, and
he lost one of his testicles, which wasn't good either. Basically put himself through the rigour for Everton Football Club. But you know what? Come out the other end with a 2nd division title, a 1st division title, an FA Cup. Shook hands with the Queen. You know,
their stuff dreams
would become the Queen.
The Queen then, was she?
Well,
it feels like
the Queen's mother. Queen mother.
Mother.
Someone I don't know.
Didn't that 52 she become the Queen?
No, I know.
Yeah, I know.
He told Hitler to do one as well. You know, you're going to put that on the list, haven't you? You know, while other people were saluting, the England team saluted him by doing a Nazi salute to him. He I think Everton played a pre-season in Germany, and they were told to do it, and he refused. He refused, and he was the captain, and he told the team not to do it. Yeah. What a man! What a man, full of principles. And
maybe that's what Hitler put some like unlucky curse on us since then. That's why we not flows.
He put an unlucky curse on us then, because
as well. Yeah.
Maybe that's what he's like. He's like,
right.
Start the war when Everton win the league.
Yeah.
Everton win the league, starts the war.
Yeah. He didn't salute me, I will now have them off.
Yeah, which he did. So, I mean, he scored 60 league goals in a season. I think he scored over 80 that
86
season.
That season.
Yeah.
86.
Which people forget about.
Goals in a season. Like
scored what was he on, 57 in the last game of the season?
The last game, got at it. Just it'll never be broken. I know some players have ran it close, but 60 league goals, it'll never be broken. Incredible goal scoring record. Incredible when you think of they were basically playing with a brick.
Yeah, they were playing with a brick
and a pair of bricks on the feet, and mud and everything else. Big, but just that obviously you see little clips of him. he wasn't afraid to put himself about. You'd have loved him on press. You'd have loved him on press, elbowing and diving in.
No,
but
he was a proper man.
He was a fella that would have a bevy in the pub, and he'd just go and grab him at 10 to 3 out the alehouse, and he'd come and, all right lads, bladdered, get on, score 5.
I mean, there's no actual
There's
proof
no
of that.
proof of that whatsoever, but that is the story, that people would be sent to the Winnie to get him, and he'd jog over and put his boots on and go out and destroy
There was
the
also a
opposition.
story that after his career finished, and I think he had a pub in Chester, that I can't remember the full story exactly, but an opposition player went in to see him and basically told him that he was the person that why he lost the testicle, and in fact he just filled them in there and then. It happens though.
They don't mess with Dixie.
Well, I mean,
You don't mess with
the thing about
That's what he
the
said.
thing about Dixie as well is that nickname as well. There's a lot of there's a lot of contradicting reports whether you like that nickname, because it's said that it's a racist connotation because he was because of his skin was slightly dark,
mixed race, wasn't it? Or of that origin,
and there was a lot of talk that he didn't like it and it's not to be used, but then it came back and the club used it, so I don't know what the actual story is with that. I would maybe it was a case of people afterwards said you shouldn't use that name,
right?
But at the time he probably accepted that name because it was probably just. I mean, listen, my dad had a dog called something beginning with N, and so did the people in Dam Busters.
When they were kids, when they were young.
Well, no, the Dam Busters weren't young. They were.
No, I meant your dad when he was young.
No, I know. Yeah, not now, obviously. But I'm saying
you've got to tell the people.
No, I know. You have to. But if you go and watch the Dam Busters, I don't know if it's still in the edit, but the dog was called. So terms were given out and they were accepted because people knew no better. I would like to think.
And educated.
Yeah,
he was an incredible footballer. I hope that we produce someone equally as good as him one day, who can score that amount of goals. But the adversity that he went through, and then to come on back out the other side and do the things he did for Everton Football Club, score the goals, unbelievable. Obviously passed away, Goodison as well.
78,
just
before I was born.
So, just basically the lived his life.
Yeah, he was in Everton before before as well, and he embodies the club, and he still does, and obviously we've got the statue, and when it was our 125th, wasn't it, when we had the Dixie Dean
memorial kit
on the badge on the arm and stuff like that, and obviously he's still on the kit at times. A couple of years ago, and he was on the back. So it's a massive, that actual iconic picture of Matt. Funny enough, it's a hybrid, isn't it? That picture, isn't it? It's not even a Goodison. It's an iconic, real iconic picture, and I suppose he's more. And as time goes on, he's more folklore.
Well, he will be, because the longer it goes on, the legend grows.
Well, that's it, isn't it? He is not. A lot of the players we'll talk about, they are based in almost in a reality, because we see a lot of the goals, but for Dixie Dean we didn't see any of the goals.
Mystical one.
There's some training footage of him, and there's I think the 1933. There's video of that, but you wouldn't see much. There
was nothing around.
There's the classic video.
You see, like the odd one, don't you? That like people have. One of them scored in Anfield.
I think there is
a header or something, and then he like bows or something. There's one of them.
But there's footage of him training, isn't there, at Goodison?
Yeah,
and it's all in slow motion.
And
he's smashing the ball, and he's doing like climbing on the post as part of the training and all that. So he will, as time goes on, he will be down as folklore. He'll be this mythical man, rather than. And I suppose that's a good thing, I would say, because I think the legend is encapsulates the club. Then it becomes part of its folklore rather than. You can't pick faults with things like that, can you? That's what I mean. I mean, there's no faults to pick, but that's where, I don't know, there's an essence about that which becomes part of the club and is it's really, I think that's really important, because now, especially in the modern age where it's, you know, it's very hard to get club legends now, especially in the modern era. So I think to have someone like that is a real, someone that, you know, you can put his silhouette on the badge, on the kit, sorry, well, and it's part of, you know, as an Evertonian, what that means.
Yeah, he's in the fabric of the club, isn't he? Literally. And again, you're right. The longer it goes on, the bigger the legend becomes, and everyone identifies with it. Everybody, kids, and you know, so Zach knows who he is and what he did, and you know, you're talking a long time ago now, 90 years. You know, 90 odd years. So it's an iconic, you know, he's an iconic person from our history, and he will always be, because A, of that record and what he stood for. And you're right, the statue, and that'll go with us to Bramley Moore. But he's been on the kit and stuff like that, so it will get, you know, he rightly has got his place in our history, and you know, for everything he did. He actually died in 1980 at the Merseyside derby. I was just clarifying that. Yeah, age 73. So he had ill health, and it was the first time he'd been back to Goodison for a while, and he had a heart attack in the match, the Everton Liverpool game. But it just think, you know, that I guess that would have been a place that he would have choose to leave.
Wasn't he
this
good?
year.
Wasn't he great mates with Bill Shankly?
So the story goes, yeah. But he was, I think, Shanks as well. Bill Shankly died a year later, didn't he? 81 Shankly died. So they had become mates when obviously Shankly had left Liverpool and spent a lot of time at Goodison, at Belfield and stuff, and I think he'd gone to see him on the Wirral quite a bit. So yeah, I mean, his story is incredible, and I'm gonna get Dave in to do some history bits, some videos about players from that era, so we'll get him to do a bit more on it. But his story's unbelievable. For anyone who doesn't know the actual full story of Dixie, is incredible.
It deserves to be documented a lot more.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure.
Well, wasn't there a movie?
There has been,
it's been like
but
muted, but it never.
But there's been a stage play. In fact, someone I know played Dixie Dean.
Yeah.
A guy I used to work with, Steve. He played Dixie Dean, and he's from he's a red light, but he was from Birkenhead. He went to the same school. He's a big lad. He's the same kind of size as him. Yeah, he looks a bit like him as well. So he played him on this, and it was one of those things where it was like it'd do like 4 nights here and 4 nights there. It didn't get like didn't have a long run on it. It would go into schools or, you know, things like that. But yeah, there was talk it was going to be a film. And to be fair, if he was an American sportsman and he'd done that, there'd been all kinds of films made. If you need a hat-trick on the last day of the season to get not only 60 goals, but don't forget the record was 59 set the season before. So to get that record, and I think he scored his third about 10 minutes to go,
chasing it like,
so incredible. That's a huge thing, and you know,
we don't revere our sports people in quite the same way over here as what they do, but it is an unbelievable story. I'm sure there's a film, but it's about after his career.
Is that?
Yeah, that's in the making at the moment, but it's about the stuff afterwards and everything else. But no, just an unbelievable centre forward, and let's not arse about he's in. He's number 9. He's the number 9. He's the 9. So everybody else is playing for the opportunity.
This is what makes it really hard. Graham Sharp, I think he's our
he's next, isn't he?
Greatest goals
post-war goal scorer.
I can't even see what I've written there.
It's 150 odd, is it?
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
If you just wrote properly, like, you know, we might.
I think I've wrote.
It's only records, like, you know what I mean.
He signed in 1980.
Yeah.
Played till 91. Do you remember when he came to the club?
I don't know, because there wasn't much fuss made about it. I knew he was there, knew he was in it. The reserves and stuff come from Dumbarton. But I remember he came on, almost certain he come on at Brighton as a substitute. I think that was his debut. I think we might have lost 3-1 or so. He come on, sure he come on and just have a look for us, because it'll wind me up. I'm sure he came on as a sub, but he got in. He got in the side, and in 81, 82 in particular, scored a few. He scored a volley against Spurs, which for me is still, I think it's a better goal than his Anfield one. His Anfield one's unbelievable. His volley against Tottenham was just incredible. But that season, he scored one outside the box against Leeds at home. We beat Leeds, a night game, if I remember right. He scored a volley from outside the box. We beat them 1-0, and he just got on a good run. And then the next season, he was a bit hit and miss. I think he started the season quite well, but he was a bit hit and miss. And we had David Johnson at the club, who was, he had been decent the first time now, but he come back the second time, and I think he only scored one goal against Watford at home. We beat Watford 1-0. He scored the winner, and he was garbage, Johnson. And so, you know, Sharpie had to like play his way through it and grow as he did.
Well, he scored 160 goals in 425 appearances.
You've written 160, and yeah, you have done that, but it's written like a kindergarten kid.
It's because I've written over what I was.
Don't ever write over.
Okay. He scored in all competitions. He scored none in his first season, none in his second season.
81,
82, he scored 15.
Yeah, that was his breakthrough.
82,
just tell me if he made his debut against Brighton.
I can't. There's no way of telling you.
Come on, keep talking, I'll find.
So, 82, 83, he scored 17.
Yeah.
83, 84, he scored 11. 84, 85, he scored 30.
You forget that he got 30 goals that season.
The season after, he got 23. The 86 season.
Right.
So our leading goal scorer got 40, and he got 23, and we still went fucking top. 86, 87, he scored 13.
Yeah, he was injured as well.
87, 88, he scored 22. 88, 89, he scored 13. 90, he scored 7. And 91, listen to this, right? In 91, which was his last season, he scored 8 times in 34 games, which is still half decent for us. When he was, you know, coming towards the end of his, you know, coming into his 30s, you know, that's decent. That,
yeah,
but he was let go.
Very strange, the fact that I think what happened was towards the end. No, I think he was getting a bit frustrated with what was going on. He'd obviously been through the best times with the club, come through being a great goal scorer for us and a great centre forward.
He was one of the last, wasn't he?
And he was one of the last ones that obviously never still there, but he was, you know, Rats was gone, and players like that were going he'd been part of it. Obviously Wacky was still there. Sheedy,
but from 84, 85 he was one of them. Sheedy was still clinging on.
Sheedy was still there,
but everyone else had gone.
And then it was just his influence on the games was getting less, I suppose. I think he was probably just disillusioned as well, and needed a change, and he went off to Oldham, I think.
Player manager.
He got sent to him and got sent off at Goodison for Oldham. But
consistently, and also consistently, he was a good goal scorer. You know, 15 goals a season on average, you'd say, wouldn't you? You know, a 1 in 3 striker for a someone who almost played second fiddle to someone else always through his career. You know, it was whether it be. What I mean by second fiddle, I would always say that he was the
target man.
He was the target man, and the drop downs were always for someone else. So whether that be Gray, Lineker, Cotty,
I think he liked Gray though, because Gray took that. Gray when Gray was in the team with him, he took the knocks and it freed Sharp up, hence from getting 30 goals that season when he played with Gray a lot, because he was able to drop into those positions. Yeah. But he was a tremendous header of the ball, tremendous leap on him. You know, his touch,
hold it up really well as well.
That was the thing. That was the thing that you know, Aidan Heath was my favourite, but Sharp was fantastic if you look at him, and his hold up play, and that give me the basis of what I expect from me centre forward because of Graham Sharp.
He was brilliant, and he was brilliant. As I say, a lot again. He's another one that's been a lot of it's been forgotten about, and obviously scored in the '84 Cup final. He scored in Rotterdam, didn't he? So you know, scored in two of the cup finals that we won.
Actually, didn't score in that.
Did he not?
No, he went round the goal. He flicked it across for Craig.
He did.
Had an assist.
Right. The one that if Bruce Grobbelaar hadn't saved that header in '86.
The save was amazing.
Scored twice. Scored twice against Nottingham Forest in the Simod Cup.
Before
4-3. I was there.
Yeah.
At Wembley.
The Simod Cup. And we got there again with the full Members Cup against Palace and got battered, didn't we?
We didn't. No, we didn't.
Didn't we?
We got beat in the Zenith Data Systems Cup.
Got beat 4-1.
It's not. Full Members Cup was.
Well, yeah, that was the earlier. The Zenith Data ZDS, yeah. Keown got stretched off, bleeding, and he was still like
Bob the Pole scored, and then we got destroyed next to time. Crystal
Palace, Ian Knight and Mark Bright.
So and obviously still at the club now, and
people forget he scored 2 in the 4-4. They scored 1 in the 4-4, didn't he? Scored an important. Was it 2? No, it was 2.
The header and Cotty got 2.
And Cotty got 2, yeah.
He got the one on the line.
The one on the line that Glenn Hussein tried to do, and he showed the header that Grobbelaar probably really should have saved, but yeah.
No, so
you look like he took a
massive massive name back at the club. You know, keeps his lineage alive.
Oh, it keeps his. He should be well respected. Fantastic, you know, to have the record goal scorer since the war, working at the club and being around. Fantastic.
Didn't he recently take that off him though? Didn't something happen where they found someone else had scored a goal or something, and he lost that record? But I can't remember who it was, but I'm sure someone else was given a goal recently, and it's lost him the record or something.
So what? He was tied with someone.
I can't remember exactly what happened. Or they found goals for someone else. Honestly.
I haven't heard that.
I'll probably have a look later.
See, you haven't slept. I had like a dream about that.
Yeah, because I'm always dreaming of Graham Sharp.
I don't. Why would I know what your dreams are?
Because I'll come in and tell you.
Just Instagram.
Dream about Instagram.
All the stuff you look at on Instagram's like a dream.
Fair enough. Yeah. So massive important player, another massive number 9, and of course, you know, you mentioned the goal against Liverpool, which is massively iconic. Massively iconic.
Just watch the goal against Spurs again.
We'll do that. Let's move on, because otherwise we'll be here all day.
Go on then, let's
Bob Latchford, a player obviously from the 70s, played 286 times, scored 138 times, I think that says. 74 to 81. Nearly come back in 83 as well when we signed Andy Gray. Someone who just, again, he's one of these players consistently brilliant for Everton every year. You know, practically a 1 and 2 striker. Scored, you know, for a generation of Evertonians, he's their only icon. He is their number 9 for a generation.
He's before my time, to be honest. But obviously, you know, I've watched as much footage as we can of him at Everton. You know, you see on the ITV at the big match on, and there's been quite a few where he's been, you know, he's played and scored. And I remember people being gutted when he left. You know, he was sold, but then he came back and scored for Swansea. I remember being at the match, we beat them 3-1. He scored at the street end, and everyone jumped up, like, you know. There was no knobheads, you know, like celebrating when he scored, like it was said when Naismith scored the other year. But to be fair, it was at the end of the game. But he was great. He was a great, you know, he's a great fella. We've had the pleasure of interviewing him stuff, and he's a very nice fella. He's still a big Evertonian. albeit from Germany. But yeah, you know, the match-up was Dave Thomas down the wing with his socks down his ankles, throwing crosses in and latch, diving, heading them in, and there's a game at QPR, I think, where he gets 4. We've been 5-0 or 5-1, he scores 4.
But he's another one, isn't he? Obviously the 30 goals,
yeah,
which was it the Daily Express?
They
done like a £10,000 event, because there must have been, I don't know, no one been hitting those figures. And it was it down to the last game as well? The last
game against Chelsea, he got it again. Did he get a hat-trick? I know the penalty was obviously, we beat them 6-0, and that was just the 30th goal. I think he needed 2 going into that. And he did it, and you know, it brought the outcome.
And again, he's another one.
Although he didn't get the money.
Well, he says that's one of his stories, isn't he? Always said, what happened to it? And he said, well, I got taxed on it, and then I put money into the players' part, and he said I ended up with nothing, really. So
basically not.
So for a generation of Evertonians in the 70s, he's their only thing, isn't he? Because he was the great goal scorer. He epitomised the fans on the pitch.
He was like Duncan Ferguson.
Well, yeah, I suppose he was. No, he was though, wasn't he?
Because we didn't win anything.
Well, Duncan won something. But what I mean is, in that period in the 70s, we had a couple of times we should have won the league. Yeah. You know, Carlisle got beat banned
twice to cost us the title. We lost a League Cup semi-final, a League Cup final rather, to Aston Villa. We lost an FA Cup semi to Liverpool when, you know, we scored, Brian Hamilton scored a goal there was nothing wrong with.
West Ham beat us in the semi.
So he was very close on many occasions to actually,
well, it was
doing something.
They finished top 4, 3 or 4 times. So therefore, you know, that would be seen as success now. But you're right, that Duncan Ferguson is a good comparison. Someone who
didn't score as many goals.
No, Duncan didn't, but he's someone who epitomised the club at a certain time. And if you were around at that certain time, if you needed to love someone, that's who it was. So yeah, I mean, again, Duncan's not necessarily on our list as such, but for a generation, my generation, you know, for those,
I absolutely loved Duncan. Goal scoring wise wasn't great. His discipline wasn't great at times. He didn't play enough games at times, but half of that was down to us and not being able to diagnose what's wrong with him. You know, not having the right people around him, and it was Baz Rathbone when he came in who sorted him out and got him. You know, and you just think if he'd have had him a few years earlier, you know, Duncan we'd have got a lot more out of Duncan. But Duncan was fabulous for us at times, and he was something to cling on to when things weren't great.
Yeah,
he was our icon. You know, when we had players at the club who weren't great, but he was, and he always knew he wanted to do well for Everton, and that was a thing. Where Latford was more of a success because he scored a lot of goals every season. So there you go.
Yeah, as I say, for some people he will be right in us. But again, these things are all to do with eras, aren't they? And you know,
if we'd have seen him, we might have been going,
exactly,
seen him every week.
Exactly, it's what these people make you feel, not necessarily what they do.
It's great because we look and go, Latford, and you know, he's the thing, isn't he?
But Dave Hickson, he's another one. He's another one for a generation of Evertonians, and again, no success in his time at Everton. No success. Coming off the war, the barren years after the war. You know, we've gone into the war as champions. We've come out with nothing. I mean, what does that sound like? You know, he had 2 spells at the club. You know, he scored
95 goals, 96 goals.
Did, yeah. Their league goals. You think he scored more?
He scored more than
225, 2 spells. Then obviously went and played for Liverpool, played for a couple of other clubs, then went to work, and his last day, I think he was doing bits for Everton, and the last day Bill Kenwright just got hold of him and just said, "You're coming home," and brought him back to Everton. And I've got the tapes of when James Corbett done his book, and I've got the tapes of them all. They're not properly recorded, they're just dictaphone, so James could write the book. And I've got them, and I actually produced this little small like podcast to go with the book, and I got I got a few people who knew him. Yeah. The Reverend
Harry Ross.
I got Thomas, who done the artwork for the book. I've got James, who wrote the book, and then I've got his work. I've got loads of it, but a lot of it's like in a cafe, and there's a lot of like
other noises
because they weren't for a podcast. But James just said to me, "Is there something you could do with it?" And but I got this little bit of it where he's talking about Bill Kenwright and how much he loves Everton, and how much Dave Hickson loves Everton, and he's just talking about the fact that he brought me home, and he's crying his eyes out, crying, and it's so emotional to listen to because he just loved Everton, loved everything about Everton, and loved coming back to work for Everton. And you'll know because you did the tours with him. But I remember me missus and my brother-in-law, there was this like Scouse day at Everton, and I was working, and it was like, well, I remember the state she was in when she got home. I remember that because it was like you basically paid like a donation, and you got Scouse, and you just got ale all day, like stupid. And she said he was dead nice, and he gave them a tour when no one else was really like asked. There was other players, I won't name who they are.
Don't name who they are.
Okay. We were a bit like, you were there to like sit down on tables and have chats with people, but they were more like, I'd rather be somewhere else. He was like,
no, that was Dave.
Do you want a tour? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And she's been there with work as well, where she's purposely put days on at Goodison, and Dave Hickson was there, and he was like, nothing was too much for him.
Great fella, come back to do the tours with me. Actually, it was when he come back, and that was just, he loved it. And we'd sit and have a coffee, and he'd talk about Everton and stuff before people come in, and we'd go round, and his face would light up, telling the tours about his time and all of that. And he was a fantastic fella. Come to my wedding, and through, you're right, a generation of my relations and my wife's relations, who were all Evertonians and a bit older, they were made up. And he was pictures with everybody, sat and saw people went and sat with him and his wife, and they'd sit there, and he was fantastic, and he was always a great fella. He was always very humble, and he just, you're right, he absolutely loved being at Goodison, loved it.
Well, he's another one. I mean, he scored what, 100 and... Wait, so we mentioned it there.
And over 100 goals for us. 2 spells, but just loved it. Play for all three, didn't he?
Yeah.
Liverpool and Samia.
He's one of those people, again, like we've just mentioned about Latchford and Duncan, who no real success at the club, but he said himself he'd break every bone in his body for Everton. He would. He
absolutely loved it.
He'd put his head,
and his hair was fabulous.
Oh, his hair was amazing.
Absolutely
amazing.
Fabulous.
And I do model my hair on him now and again.
I thought.
He'd put his head where it hurt.
Cannonball kid.
Yeah, there's pictures of him with the cut above his eye, and he just gets on with it, and just remarkable.
That's fantastic. I mean, it's the kind of thing these footballers nowadays never going to have this. No. They're never going to have a situation where they have to go to work, and they're never going to do this kind of thing, and of what he did and the way he did it, and just a fantastic fella.
Yeah. Just what? Yeah, and I just think that all these people, like every week we've done this, and we've mentioned people, and there's people that rise to the top, but I just think that everyone we're talking about here is a hero. I think that's the thing about the number 9s, they're all heroes to somebody. Every single one will be a hero to someone. And I know every week we say about, we don't know much about him because we're this and all that, but these people we do know stuff about, because that's how important
they've been in.
I mean, Joe Royle, 102 goals in 232 league games, makes his debut when he's 16. Part of the championship winning side in 69-70, comes back to manage the club and wins our last trophy. Again, another man that if you met him on the street will give you as much time if you want with him. He's such a nice fella.
Yes. Down to earth.
Loads of boss stories. Loves Everton though. Because he knows what it means. Knows what it means to put on the shirt. No, as a kid, and to go out and play when you're 16, knows what it means to rub shoulders with the best, knows what it means to play against the best, and of course he went off and played for Man City, and managed other teams and all that, but absolute Evertonian to his core. You know, none of this diplomatic, you know, talking about other teams. An Evertonian, proper Evertonian, and proved it on the pitch.
Yeah, he loves Everton. He was a Blue from a young age, and will be a Blue till he leaves the earth. And he's never ever deviated from that. He's never tried to cover that up. You know, he's been, you know, he said that quite openly and honestly. And again, someone we didn't see play, but you hear about the stories, and my dad, what a centre forward he was and all that. Seeing his, you know, I was at the club when Joe come in. Well, Joe's already the manager when I started there in '95. Started back there, so met him a few times. Lovely, well, met him loads of times. Just a great fella, was down to earth, like you said. Remember he come in to the office once and took the phone off me. He was on the phone to my missus and started singing to my missus down the phone and stuff. And he just like, what? And you know, go down and play for the staff team at Belfield and have head tennis, and he'd just come and sit in and he'd watch. And he was just a fella who loved Everton. He loved being around it. Had a great relationship with Willie Donaghy. Then too, you know, loved being at Everton. And it went, you know, as a manager, it went wrong when it shouldn't have really gone wrong. But like you said, the thing with Joe is Charity Shield and the FA Cup as a manager, Championship as a player, you know, came back and was involved in the under-23s and he took charge of the team and stuff. So it's right the way through his life. He's been at Everton, moved away, been at Everton, moved away, you know.
What I do love about this list is, though, and it's not quite evident at the moment, but every generation's got a hero, because every player is following, for the most part, the last one before them. I mean, it goes a bit cold in the 90s, but
Duncan was there, wasn't he?
But from Dixie Dean onwards, it's a list of the next one and the next one and the next one and the next one.
And that's where this Everton number 9, and people don't always get it, because obviously they're not invested in our history in the same way. So when you go, you love the number 9s, people are like, what's this like? And that's obviously changed a little bit with squad numbers and stuff like that, but we know
it shouldn't have, though. It shouldn't have, though.
It should never have changed,
because we've,
and as much as I want Sandro to be a massive success at Everton, he shouldn't have been.
Kone should never have been given the number 9.
That soiled it for me.
You know, those players should never have been given the number 9.
I don't think so harsh to be given the 9. We move on. But no, we shouldn't have been.
Was he number 9? He was number 9. Then went to number 8. Yeah, probably you're right. He shouldn't have gone number 9. He should have got something.
The 8 was fine or whatever, but he shouldn't have been given that. But it is what it is, and you're right. When you just go down this list, I mean, we're going to move on again. He wasn't a number 9 as such, but as you go down the list, you go, and there's players that are nowhere near this list.
We're going to Alec Young.
Go on.
He's next.
Golden Vision.
60 to 68. 77 league goals and 228 games. Again, I'd say Alec Young was more of a number 10. We did mention him last week. It's hard to define his role because he was in a period of time where there was a lot of flux happening into. I don't think the 4-4-2 had quite come in yet, or was coming in, but there was a transition period from the sort of the last big thing to the inside halves and outside halves and inside forwards and the W and all that kind of thing. So, but he was a forward. He was loved. There's the Golden Vision play. I love it. I mean, because, and I've said this before, okay, it's not the most PC thing if you watch it now. It is of its time, and I think people might be a little bit shocked by the things that are said in it. But if you put that all to side and you watch it, because it's like part documentary, part play, brilliant, head of its time thing. You know, interviews, but yet got this play of all the fans, but the fans are just like us now. There's very little difference. You're watching fans going to away games in groups of lads and stuff and all that kind of thing, and trying to get time off work to go, and
you have to keep all that in context of when it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a scene in it when they're in a strip club in Soho in London and they're all watching, and there's one like Stato. There's always a Stato, isn't there? And he's like tune the ear off one of the other ones, going, yeah, but when he scored those goals and da. And the lad's like, yeah, I'm just trying to watch this girl strip, mate. You know what I mean? We're in London because we've been to the Arsenal game. It's brilliant. And there's another fellow who's a best man, and he's there's a game at 3, and the wedding's actually in the Alba de Cuba, you know. I don't know if you ever watch back, but it's in the Alba de Cuba, and he's going, well, what time are you going to be done for, mate? And he's like, this is taking far too long, and he keeps on cutting across pitches, and it's like 10 to 3, and goes, Goodison Park, and step on it, like, and he gets in, he's in the Gladys, he's in his suit. I love it. I absolutely love it, and it just shows Alec Young in this other thing. But again, Alec Young, you know, he's like, you know, Dr. France, he loves him. He's his idol. He's his idol. You know, when he become friends with him, and he brought him to Goodison not long before he died. And you know, we've actually got replica league medals, but he signed it inside. And I only remembered that after he died, and it's like it's just on the table in the house, and it's just like fucking hell, I've got a replica medal. It's been signed. Dr. France gives them as gifts, like.
Mine's in me memorabilia thing. I'm not gonna lie, but
he's at
each to their own.
Well, it's there, isn't it? Because memorabilia, you put stuff in memorabilia, it just gets forgotten. Mine's on the table.
Just on the table for your dog to look at.
Well, dog will love it. Get it out, have a little look. Not doing.
No, I'm saying he is. The dogs are fine
because your kids wreck things. My dog's just very respectful.
Well, he is respectful, you know. He's got a dressing gown and stuff. He's not going to start wrecking
pipe.
He hasn't got a pipe, but he has got a dressing gown.
He's got a dressing gown. When you get wet, do you put a dressing gown on?
No.
Alright, do you know people who do put dressing gowns on when they're wet?
When they get wet?
When they get out in the shower?
Well, so you get dried, sure.
But you put a dressing gown on, don't you? My dog does the same.
You put a dressing gown on. You get like fluff on your arm and that looking and stuff.
Whatever. So he's an absolute legend
he's
for people. He did wear number 9.
Yeah,
but he's not a traditional number 9.
No,
he was ahead of his time. He was a number.
In fact, Ronald Koeman would have tried to buy him last year. That's where he played.
So Dennis Bergkamp on his day.
That's the same Barnett as well. Yeah. There you go.
No, wonderful player.
Yeah,
actually.
Unbelievable.
Won the league in
days.
'63 and won the cup in '66. So again, you know,
fantastic.
I mean, we're reeling these off. Really, we could have a show for. Let's go up to date a little. Well, it's not really up to date. It's Tony Cottee, 99 goals.
Yeah, he's only on there for the 99 goals. Let's be honest.
But he was a crisscross because he came in.
Did he make you jump?
No, he was pants, long way round. But he was another who came in, and he in a way, Cottee was Lineker's replacement, really, wasn't he? Because there was no replacement in '87, and Cottee was the replacement. And I mean, you were there, I was there in Newcastle. Were you there, or were you on holiday? Because sometimes you miss those games.
I was there.
Okay, came
27 seconds.
27 seconds. Was it faster? Unsworth was 27 seconds.
So was Cottee.
Were they both 27 seconds? I remember it was very, very early.
Very early.
Very excited. Yeah. Very excited at the front of the Gladys Street.
They have Mirandina up
Oh my God, 4-0. You got to at it.
4-0.
Sharpie got one, and I just thought, we're winning everything.
We went to Coventry a week later and we beat them 1-0.
Yeah,
Cottee, that was down, but Cottee scored the header. We won 1-0 there. And you're thinking,
Cottee was a good player.
4 goals in 2 games, at the top of the league.
He was a flat sack bully, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Used to score doubles and hat-tricks against your Swindons and your...
Which was fine.
No, I know.
But he'd just go down 10 games without a goal, and you needed...
And as you mentioned before, Sharpie come scoring 2 in the 4-4. You know, he come off the bench to score, and then I think he didn't score in his next game.
Well, that was what he was like. He would get done. Listen, we probably didn't play to his strengths always either, and sometimes he'd be up on his own. He wasn't, you know, the biggest, obviously, so it was difficult. But we needed him to score more goals.
I think
than he did in terms of, not necessarily numerically, but 1s and 2s.
I don't think he benefited from the transition for Graham Sharp either.
No.
I think he needed someone a little bit more.
I don't think Sharp was very impressed with him at all.
No, Sharp didn't like him, does he?
No. Then as a player, he just didn't. He didn't think he worked hard enough. He was fuming. I remember when we got beat by Liverpool in '89. Sharp was fuming that Cotty said he was knackered after 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and he was like...
I just remember in the '89 Cup final him just jumping over the ball as Stu McCall put it in.
But saying that, he scored against Liverpool when we beat them 2-0, when Mark Ward scored, didn't he? He scored 2 in that FA Cup game against Liverpool, so he did, occasionally he did pop up, but you're right, he was more... He'd get the 2s against...
I think we sold him too early as well.
Well, we probably did. We sold him. Mike Walker got shut of him, didn't he?
Sold him at the back of
in the Wimbledon game.
Catchy, didn't we?
But it was that summer, wasn't it? And it was after we just stayed up. And realistically, we probably should have kept him for the next year, because he would have fitted into that team all right, and would have helped us. You know, we let the only real goal scorer we had out the door. Which was mad. He went back to West Ham, I think, and then he went off to Leicester, but he still scored goals for both of them. And he'd have done us. I didn't love him, because for those reasons that you couldn't rely on him, but you still, compared to what we had, I wouldn't have sold him.
Well, I had the pink shirt, 92, the pink and stripes,
salmon pink one.
I had Cotty 9 on the back of it, in some god awful font. That I got done. Well, no, it was like wasn't the Premier League one. It was
but the Premier League one.
But it was before actual squad numbers came in.
Yeah, so you just got.
So I got it done on a place in the Albert Dock, and it was like number 9. And I remember that day. My mum. So I had my ticket for the derby, obviously, and my cousin was getting married, and it was really important that I was at this wedding.
Yeah.
So I had to sell my derby ticket, and I was fuming, because I was, 14, couldn't care less about a wedding. I was not like I'm Devi or anything, or I couldn't care less, could not care less. But I had to go, and that's literally the only time I've ever listened to my mum. Honestly, it's the only time about footy that I've ever never ever afterwards. Like when she stopped me going to Man City last game of the season. I went to Man City. I went on the back of a Barnstable, watched Everton win 5-2, stood in the kit backs, and everything thrown at me. I will never ever anyone can ever take that away from me ever. But she took this one away from me. Sitting there like when you're younger or whatever, one of those weddings where they put you somewhere else, stuck next to someone my own age or couldn't give a monkeys about, you know, sit next to Gareth, chat with him. No, because all I care about is this derby. That I'm here, you know, when you hear things, and because obviously, so everyone's like, you're getting beat, and all the people are trying to wind you up. So I remember going upstairs, because we had a room upstairs, I think it was for me nan, and I just like went up, and when I was up there, Ward got the goal. So then I'm downstairs then, we're 1-0 up, but it's like hanging on, and I just remember one of like the chefs came in and we just went, Cotty just scored the second, and I remember me and my half fella just run upstairs like lightning, and we were just listening to the last 5 minutes of the game, and then I had to go home for something, and I just grabbed me top, and I just, like, as the night just got a little bit later, I just threw the top on. I was just proud. But my cousin was a red at his wedding. But I mean, I also went to watch the '96 Cup final in his house, and when Cantona scored, I just went absolutely ballistic, and my dad just went, sit down. You did someone else's house here. Yeah, but you know, but what do you expect? It was great.
Jamie Carragher did the same. So
well, So Cotty, so he was my first like shirt number and that. So
he deserves a notable
mention. Yeah, notable mention. So moving on to Andy Gray.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we might have to split this in half. This is so long. And do you know what? I haven't even thought about who's going to be the second striker yet.
No.
Andy Gray, 49 games in the league, 14 goals, 2 years at the club. I think made an absolute massive impression.
Exactly, and that's why he's got to be discussed, because the impact he had. You know, the goals aren't great. You wouldn't, like, what I mean is you wouldn't look at it and go, oh my word, what a goal scorer. But the impact around the place, the the transition from a team that was struggling to a team that won the FA Cup and then won the league and won the Cup Winners' Cup and got to another, got to another cup final, got to a little, okay, he wasn't involved in the Milk Cup final run, but he was off the pitch and giving everyone that confidence. So his actual contribution was seismic really to the football club, and we luckily enough we spent some time with him and Reed and people like that, and they were talking about when he come in, the impact he had on the dressing room and how much of a change it made to the club, and they quite openly say that when he left, that was the reason why Everton went into a little bit of a, things changed at the decline because of the way he was, and I think Peter Reid's adamant we'd have won the league if Gray would have stayed the next year. We had become very close. But just to come in from where he did at the stage he did with the injuries he'd had, and it wasn't, you mentioned Bob Latchford was considered as well, which Bob told us. I don't think he would have been able to have the impact Andy Gray had. He might have scored more goals than Andy Gray, but in terms of the impact,
the team spirit in the dressing room and bringing that little bit of nous in. I mean, even just for the Cup Winners' Cup run, scored in the semi, scored in the final,
in the quarters, hat-trick
in the quarters. So he's massively important for that. If one trophy is encapsulated by, he scored in the 84.
He scored the quarter final away at Notts County, which was a bad tricky game. He scored.
So in terms of cups, he was hugely important.
Occasion,
massively important. And again, just it's not. I suppose it's not about the time you have at a club. It's the legacy and the impact you leave. So massively important.
Still love Sheffield football.
Oh yeah, when you know that when you see him when he's doing his on being sports and all that, you see the little clips afterwards and how much it means to him, and how when people try and talk down about Everton, how much he just defends Everton, and because he remembers the real Everton in a way.
That's the thing. A lot of people, because he was on Sky, a lot of people not asked about Everton and he's new, but you've got to maintain professionalism.
You don't get to that
level for that long. I mean, we're seeing it now with the likes of Redknapp and Carragher and that, and Carragher's not too bad with
Neville as well. You've got to be critical, haven't you?
Some of them, the likes of Redknapp can't, and Souness can't, and they're the ones who people can't. Danny Murphy, you just look and go, you're a tit. You might support that club, and that's fine. I'm not saying you shouldn't support Liverpool, or you should, but when you're on a panel like that, you have to be objective, and Andy Gray was always like that. And when you actually sit and spend time with him, he said, I'm an Evertonian. He said, how could I not love this place and love this club after what it meant,
Well, it's about what moments they give you as well as a person. I mean, he was at Villa, obviously 2 spells, but he never won anything at Villa. So, he won the League Cup at Wolves, didn't he? Yeah. But you never get those moments because you're not in the situation to have those moments where you're all in it together and you're going on that journey. So, amazing player for the 2 years. Romelu Lukaku, again, someone you have to mention because his goal scoring record's absolutely phenomenal. He's not someone that he's not one of these that won anything, and I don't know if he's got the same impact. Well, he hasn't. I know for a fact he hasn't. But like a Latchford or I don't know.
He will after some people. Some people absolutely.
Do you think he will though? Because no, I know that. But do you think that? I know people do love him, but do you think people will in time remember him as fondly as we remember some of these other people?
No, and I'll tell you why.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So for now, for that period, people would love him because he was the hero, and I loved him when he played on the pitch. But I don't sit here now. I don't sit here, going, oh, Rom.
Some will.
Do you think they do?
Well, I can only judge by social media, obviously, because people who I go to match with and people who I talk to, and of all ages, can't have him because he disrespected Everton. And people go, no, he didn't. He did. He disrespected Man United before the World Cup. He did. You don't. You're supposed to talk your club up.
Tell him it's to France now.
No, that's it. You're supposed to talk your club up, not talk it down, regardless of how good you are or how good you think you are. So that wound me up the way he was over Everton. That stopped me having any kind of connection with him. But you can't. So, but I see people who are like, "Oh, if only we had this," and
no, I understand all that. I understand that side of it.
But you can't ignore how good he was for Everton Football Club at putting the ball in the back of the net. Yeah. Alright, he fluffed his lines big time in the semi-final in 16. That could have been...
Which semi-final?
Yeah. Well, I don't really think he did in the City one. Did he?
Talking about the World Cup.
Okay. The FA Cup 2016.
Yeah.
Semi-final against United. He had 4 or 5 chances to put us there, and then we probably would have... Well, we would have had a good opportunity against Crystal Palace to win a trophy. But other than that, he put the ball in the net regularly for us. He was a talisman. And I just wish he would have conducted himself a little bit differently. It's great being ambitious. No problem with being ambitious, but there's a way to be ambitious and there's a way to be keep your dignity. But I don't think he's that bothered.
I suppose the one thing you can say about every single person that we've already mentioned on this list is nobody left us and went anywhere and did anything. Nobody. There's not one person on that list anywhere else
that went on to something
better. We sold. They'd either be in Everton for 10 years or so, or we got them at a stage of the career where we got them at their absolute peak, or for whatever reason nobody left Everton Football Club and did anything better, and he is the only one I would say out of that, on this entire list, that we sold and went up.
But ultimately he won the same as what we did last season.
No, I'm not talking about that. What I'm saying is that every single one of these players give their best years for Everton. Every single one of them. Now, they might have won something, or they might.
Well, there's a player on there there's a player who may well have ended up on there, who moved and became an absolute legend for everywhere else.
Oh yeah, we'll mention him in a minute. But he's not even on the list.
No, he's not even being considered. But in terms of producing a quality footballer who should have been on that list, it would have been him. But Lukaku, he may well go on and do fantastic things in his career, but I think one thing that he needs to get a grip of, and he's not our player anymore, so it doesn't matter, but is his mouth, is what he's saying. Because from my point of view, everyone we've discussed, I've not heard any of them disrespect Everton at any time, ever. Move on, quite happy. You can go on, you can Gary Lineker. People go, oh, Lineker, blah, 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 but he always says Everton are the best team he played for. He might not necessarily have an affinity with Everton the way he has with Tottenham or Leicester, but Leicester were his club. He played for Spurs for years. He didn't play for us for a season, but he openly says he has a good time. He loved playing for Everton, and Everton were the best team he played for. He doesn't have to support us because there's loads.
But he respects us.
But he respects that, and he respects the fact that we're a big club, and he respects the fact that it was the best team. And I think Romney, even the way Rom left, even the things like when we went to West Brom and scored for Everton, he was like that, and then he celebrates like for United against us, and it's like you're like a little kid, and that's what I didn't like about him. But he deserves to be discussed because of his goal record. A phenomenal player, but I just don't think he will be remembered. I think people will just go Romelu Lukaku was a brilliant footballer, but he didn't bring any emotional moments to Everton. Like that was, again, you go back to... Well, he did, because he didn't invest.
But that's what I'm saying.
Look at Jan Tosin.
No, I know.
People are all over him because he looks like he wants to give everything.
But that's what I'm saying. Even Duncan Ferguson, whether you liked him or you didn't like him, you can't say he didn't bring emotion to Everton Football Club and puts part of himself into it. Even just his first goal against Liverpool in the derby.
Well, he won us games against Liverpool, he won us games against United.
But it's not about winning games as such, it's about... I'm not talking about that side of it, I'm talking about the side... You're talking about that side of it. He didn't invest himself, where some of the... a lot of these players invested everything.
Well, what I'm saying, when Rom scored some big goals,
no,
right?
But
it was more about him.
But there's a detachment because he hasn't given himself over. No. I mean, we've got 3 more names on the list, and They're ridiculous. The records are ridiculous.
We need to wrap it up soon because we've got
another
programme to record.
Well, we might be able to. We'll have to. Tommy Lawton.
Yeah.
65 goals in 87 league games.
Unbelievable.
He got off the train. I remember it's in. I think this is in the official Everton video. And the fella said, "Oh, you're young Lawton." He went, "Yeah, you're a good player. Yeah. You'll never be as good as Dixie." Like that's how he was greeted. Yeah. But again, amazing record, amazing. But he was like after the war, so it was like Dixie, the war, Lawton, and then it was. I think it was it Fred Pickering first or well anyway, Fred Pickering, 87 games, 97 league games, 56 goals. Left out of the 66 cup final because he'd been injured, I think, and
he was coming back, wasn't he?
And even though he was fit, it was like no, we left him out.
Smart decision.
Just ridiculous. Roy Vernon, 101 league games, league goals, 177 appearances. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
Fantastic goal scoring.
You know,
right, isn't it? It's unbelievable goals, more than 1 in 2 games. Incredible. And there, obviously we didn't see these players play, but records speak for themselves like that.
And then you've got people like Derek Temple.
Great player.
Scores twice in 66.
Yeah.
It's just
the list is
he scored one. Like Tabilco.
Yeah, Tabilco scored 2. That example scored 2. But the list is ridiculous. I mean, mentioned it before. Gary Lineker, 1 season, he's had 40 goals. 30 league goals, 40 goals. We didn't win anything.
You go from Dixie Dean onwards, don't you? You go Dixie Dean, you go Tommy Lawton, Roy Vernon, Fred Pickering, Alec Young is part of that. Let me start that again. So you go from Dixie Dean, and then you go to Tommy Lawton, then you go to Dave Hickson, Fred Pickering, Roy Vernon, Alec Young, then you go to Joe Royle, then Latch, then Graham Sharp, Andy Gray, Gary Lineker,
Sharp and
Agent Heath's in there, Cotty. Then there's a little bit of a there's a
because Dunk was there.
Rideout.
Rideout.
Who eventually, no matter what you think about Rideout, he done the business.
He did.
Mojo not so much. Duncan. Bakayoko. I'm trying to think.
And Duncan come back, didn't he?
Duncan.
And Moise
come in, and then you've got the likes of Marcus Bent.
We had Kevin Campbell as well.
Kevin Campbell.
Miss Super Kev. How can you
mention Kevin Campbell?
How can you miss Super Kev?
No, we haven't mentioned. Mick Madar.
Madar was interesting.
That much away from being
a hero.
Kevin Campbell comes
Super
in.
Super Kev.
Scores 6.
Got 9 in 8 games.
Yeah. To keep us up.
Which was key. Absolutely key.
And then has a couple of great seasons, does his knee. But
it's never quite the same, but was a good
modern day number 9. You've got Kevin Campbell under Walter Smith, and you've got, then as I say, we go into not quite as good players, but you've got the likes
Radzinski,
Beattie,
Rooney.
AJ,
was it?
Rooney, and then obviously
Yakubu. And then he snaps his Achilles. Has 20 odd goals and snaps his Achilles.
Sahar.
Knowing me, knowing you.
He's a good goal scorer. Just again a player we got injured.
Yeah. And we had to wait a bit then till Rom, didn't we? Because we had people like Velios and Sakwalersi, who were just bobbing around. Obviously Timmy and Fellaini played up there.
Thingy.
And Yelovich. Nikisha come in and looked like he was better than Suarez. There were 4 games. He wasn't. There was no way.
And then Rom. And now hopefully Cenk Tosun will be the new. Give him the number 9 shirt. I want him to have the number 9 shirt.
I'd like him to.
He wants the number 23, but he can't have the number
Colvin
23.
Take number 2. No, start for number 2.
I like that as I like him.
You like Schneidlin as number 2?
No, I don't like Schneidlin being number 2, but I like the fact that Seamus is number 23. No, give Cenk the number 9 shirt. I like that. I want him to be the number 9 shirt.
The bull.
Give him it.
Besiktas is now the El Toro of Goodison. But yeah, no, let's hope Jen can get a few goals.
Right, who are we going to pick?
Oh, I forgot we have to...
I thought we were just talking about it.
Oh,
who are we going to pick?
We haven't even talked about Incy.
No, we're not talking about Incy.
Incy's boss.
Oh no, Incy's boss, well, yeah, it's become even better lately.
Incy was...
Spoiler.
Oh,
Spoiler.
Yeah. No, Incy was great, but Incy was more
injuries as well.
Midfield and injury curtailed them, but scored some important goals for us. But he was one that tied a lot of it together, but wasn't. He did play up front, but he also was more.
So who are we going to pick? Stop.
Trying to think that I was buying time.
I don't know.
You've got Dean, who's powerful.
Dixie's in there. He's number 9.
Right, he's in there. We've got him. We're taking him home. But it's who to partner. I mean, who's jumping out to partner for you?
Nobody's jumping out because they're all so good that I don't know who jumps out. I don't know. I honestly...
If you went on goal scoring rates,
yeah,
you'd probably go Joe. I know there's ones like Roy Vernon who scored incredible amounts, and obviously the other fella below him who went to Arsenal, the kid who got off the train, Tommy Lawton, who was unbelievable goal scoring record. Joe for winning a trophy and having 1 and 2. But then Graham Sharp was the centre forward now, most successful era, and was our record goal scorer for a bit until you threw some massive spanner in the works and said someone else has scored more, but I don't believe it. I'm just thinking Mick Lyons.
Just centre back.
Emergency striker.
So you put an emergency striker in as the best.
Mike Newell. The Shiver Rat. Peter Beardsley. Not playing.
Suppose you could mention him, but we're not.
We're not going to because we have.
Oh my God, this is ridiculous.
For me,
go on.
And this is purely biased because I've seen him. It's a toss-up between Gray and Sharp. But Andy Gray can't get him because he hasn't played anywhere near enough.
No.
So therefore, for me, it would be Graham Sharp.
Okay. So it's not Romelu Lukaku.
No.
Okay.
No. Although he fully deserved to be discussed.
Okay.
I mean, why were you thinking Rom here?
I actually think Rom's got a really good shout at this. You know, I know people might, but I actually do think as a footballer he's got a proper good shout. Now, that might just be because he's the most recent and all the goals are fresh. But as a footballer, my God, he got it all when he wants it. But you know, other things.
But just sit there, just very quickly, and just think of the words that you're saying, right?
Yeah, I know.
Everton's greatest ever team, and you think Romelu Lukaku gets into that?
Yeah, but I've been thinking about this, and when I look at it, and I think Peter E gets in our greatest Everton team, right? No, I know.
Yeah.
No, I know. But it's the omissions that you think of who are not in there.
Who would get in before Reed?
All of them. But that's the thing, isn't it?
But not in a formation, they wouldn't.
Maybe. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Maybe in a different...
So what, we'd have played 4-3-3?
If in a different formation, maybe we should have played 4-3-3.
No,
we're not. We're just
playing.
What I'm saying is, though, if you were to say to a non-Everton person, Peter E's in our greatest ever team, they might look at you and go, that's mad. That is mad. But to us...
Yeah, but we've seen him play.
I know. But to us, we understand. And that's what I'm saying about this. If you were to say if I was to give that list to a load of people, to non-Evertonians, and they go, yeah, it's Romelu Lukaku, mate. Just take all the emotion out of it. It's Romelu Lukaku, right? Some mightn't, but some might come up with different...
Do you think Rom over Sharp? Because Sharp was...
But some people might say Lineker
Rom
over
could
Sharp.
do...
Rom
could do it. Sharp could do it all. Great in the airs, hold up play, fabulous.
Played in a good side as
well.
Though.
Goals. Did play in a good side.
That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, listen, you know what? I've chosen a couple of times. It's been on me, and I've chosen. So I'm putting this on you.
I'm ringing Bill.
Don't, because he'll cry.
Give it to Dave. You give it to Ixon, wouldn't he? I think this is a really hard one, and I
I
know whoever we picked would be wrong. If that makes sense.
Yeah, but it's just our team.
This is the ultimate in generational warfare. Every generation will have every generation. A striker is born.
We haven't discussed Alan Bailey.
I don't even know what that is.
You don't know who Alan Bailey is?
Well, I do, but yeah, I don't.
What about Mick Ferguson? 5 goals Fergie? No, 6'1" with size 5 feet.
Big beard then.
Big beard, yeah. Looked like the Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Actually, he did. No, well, he did. That's what he
Okay. Say no more.
Peter Eastoe. I love Peter Eastoe. 25 goals in about 90 games. That was great. But he was a good striker.
You know, we've actually got a number 9 team there.
We have.
No, the only problem is they want to play number 9.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Go on. I'm getting putting.
I want you to pick one name though.
Dixie Dean. I said before, I'd probably have to give it to Graham Sharp.
Okay.
Right. I'm just looking at the list again because
this is so
Roy. Look at the goal. Roy Vernon 101 goals. Fred Pickering 56, 97. You know, Tommy Lawton 65 and 87. Cotty 72 and 184. You know, he's not getting in. Alex Young was good. Joe Royal 102 and 232. Joe's got a great shout.
Can we
scoring
right?
goals.
So let's get rid of Rom, Vernon, Pickering, Lawton, Gray, Cotty, Young. So it's down to Sharp, Latchford. Then we get rid of Dave Ixon as well. Oh, I don't see him in Everton's greatest 11. I just think he was a hero for a certain time.
So you'd have to probably put Lukaku back in.
No, I'm not putting Lukaku back in.
Okay.
Because yeah. So Royal, Latchford,
and
Sharp, those 3.
Well, goals tell you it's Sharp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Goals.
But games, Joe's got 1 and 2. And won the league. Well, Sharp won the league.
He did.
Latch didn't win anything, so I'm taking Latch for that.
Okay, so it's Sharp.
So sorry, Bob.
Sharp and Royal.
Sharp and Royal. Obviously, we watched Graham Sharp play. We didn't watch Joe.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean Joe shouldn't be in. Joe's strike rate is better than Sharp's.
Yeah.
Sharp was in a brilliant team for a good number of years. Joe was up and down with the Everton side.
Okay.
I'm leaving it to you.
I've got my decision.
Okay.
I've made my decision.
All right.
I've made my decision.
Okay. Drum roll.
I know it's wrong, but I'm going for it. Joe Royal.
Okay.
I've gone for Joe Royal.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I've just gone.
Strike rate alone tells you.
I've gone for Joe Royal. I think this is a thankless task. It really is. It really is a I think it's just ridiculous. I think we should have just played one up front. And just gone. That would have
3 up front.
The one up front would have sorted it out.
Okay.
Just Dixie.
Because there would have been no arguments. Yeah.
We could have had like whoever behind.
Yeah, just behind.
Peter Beardsley.
Keith.
Yeah. I've gone with Joe Royal. It's wrong for everyone. I know it is. I know everyone will be going, no, it's not. It's Game Sharp. No, it's not. It's him. It's Blatchford. It's anyone else. But I've just decided to go for Joe Royal because you know why? I just love the man a little bit more than I like Graham Sharp, and I think he encapsulates Everton a little bit more. And the fact that he came back and managed
he's managed to
come back and manage. I know that shouldn't have anything to do with it because Howard didn't get in the team, but I'm just going to put him in.
Okay. All right.
I think he's sound.
I'll be honest, I'm happy with it.
And I love his turtlenecks.
Yeah, turtlenecks. I'm happy with it. Okay. Sharpie on him close, no problem with that.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments and tell us why. And you know what? I'm not going to disagree with anyone, because I can't disagree with anyone on this one. Do you know what? If Tommy Lawton had made it into the greatest Everton team, I wouldn't have a problem with it. If Roy Vernon had made it in, I wouldn't have a problem with it. If Romelu Lukaku, honestly, had made it in, I wouldn't.
Would you have had a problem with Cotty?
Yeah, of course I would have. It would be stupid. I mean, that wedding story was good, but it's not that good. No. Andy Gray. Again, it's subjective. It's what he made you feel.
Oh, and I loved Andy Gray. I still love him now. So, but I wouldn't put him in.
I honestly couldn't argue with
most of
them. I mean, I could put Tony Cotty's name out, but anyone else,
they've all got.
It's what they made you feel at the time, and that's a list. I mean, that's why number 9 is so revered at Everton, and that's why it needs to stop being handed out like it's a fucking goldfish at a fair. Thank you.
Interesting.
It needs to be, and you know what, some people might say whatever, but you know what, at some teams or some sports, a number is retired.
Yeah.
Now I don't think so. West Ham have retired the number 6 for Bobby Moore. Okay, that's up to them, but I wouldn't do that. I would just wait and give it to someone who's worthy of it. Yeah, who's worthy of it.
United don't do it. Well, they thought
they give him number 7 to Michael Owen, but then what are you talking about?
No, they had done it and then they give it to Owen, and that kind of ended it. But you're right, just keep it.
And Liverpool give number 7 to Nigel Clough
and Harry Kewell.
Yeah,
Suarez picked it back up for them, but Harry Kewell.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I want the number 9 to be given out sparingly to someone who deserves it, not someone who just signs off the street. Although they gave it to Landon Donovan. No, that was okay. I know. It would have been good for marketing in America.
Good for Swansea.
So give us your thoughts. Let us know.
Yeah. Don't give us too much abuse because it's difficult.
I don't give us abuse, because I don't think this is worthy of abuse. This is worthy of just tell us why you pick someone else and give us.
I'll probably agree with you.
And give us your story.
It's so difficult.
And we'll go from there.
There you go.
And you know what? We might even do another show next week where we just talk about your number 9s. In fact, send your videos in and we'll put a compilation of why a certain number 9, your number 9, is important to you, and we'll put them out. Send ideas on the
fly. Got to be 9s, or can it just be any player who's like your hero?
Tell you what, like him. Tell you what. 2 things. Send us in your number. Send us in your 1 to 11, your Everton 11, right? Do a little video. Only has to be a minute or 2. Do us a little video, and we'll get it out, right? So if anyone out there, just do it.
Everton 11, what best they've seen, or
best Everton 11 in their opinion, like we've done.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But also give us your striker stories. Let us know who your greatest number 9 is, apart from Dixie, because we all know he's the number 9. Tell us them, put it in a video.
That easy.
That shape. When you do videos for us, think VAR, because there ain't no. Is there? Think VAR. Send us them in, and we'll get them out. We want to know, because I think this one. Joe Rudd is just literally. It could have been any of them.
There you go.
Because they're amazing, and every generation has their own number 9s, and that's why it's so special. So let us know. Get them in. Thanks for watching. And so our team is Never Southall, Gary Stevens, Brian LeBone, Kevin Ratcliffe, Ray Wilson, Trevor Stephen, Peter Reid,
Alan
Ball, Kevin Sheedy, Dixie Dean, and Joe Royal. Who are we doing for the subs? No, we're messing. Let us know. Give us them. Send your videos in. We'll see you later.